Om Namo Narayana. Today is the day after Chaturthi, the Panchami day, that we are doing the names of Ganesha. We'll do around 4 or 5 names of Ganesha today. This is more to do with the side of valor, the side of bravery, the side of protection, the forms of Ganesha, the names that we are going to chant. But as usual, we are going to chant the first name of Ganesha as Sada Bala Rupaya Namaha, because if you look at the whole palotra of devatas in the Sanatana Dharma, you see it is called that Ishwaratva, that is the Parabrahma Swarupam of the Ishwara, the Ishwaratva, the Parabrahma Swarupam is displayed in those devatas, in those Ishwaras where things never come to an end. They always sustain, they always exist. So there are 5 of them that are considered. Of this, one of them will get merged into Shiva through Narayana, that is Surya Deva. He is also known as Surya Narayana because the tejas, the luminosity, the glow of Surya comes from the root, who is Narayana. That's one. And then there is Ganapati, who is also known as a Parabrahma Swarupa. Now we'll come to that aspect of Ganapati, Parabrahma Swarupa of Ganapati. Then there is Vishnu, then there is Shiva, and then there is Shakti. So that is the Shaiva, Shakta, Vaishnava, Saurya, and the Ganapatya Paramparas schools. That these are the 5 Bhakti Margas, the 5 deities that we always focus on as Parabrahma Swarupa. Now, when we look at these Parabrahma Swarupams, what you see is that they don't diminish ever. They don't ever come to that state where they cease to exist. They always exist. That is what is Parabrahman is. So we all know that Shiva has always been there. That is the reason it's called Sada Shiva. Then there is Shakti. Another name for Shiva is Sada Yavana. Means he's always been young. And in one place, it depicts that you see a young teacher whose students are Vruddha, whose students are aged, the Saptarishis. So Shiva is always young. There is no vikaras. He doesn't turn old. His hair doesn't turn gray. He doesn't lose his fitness. His body doesn't lose its strength. It doesn't grow old with time. He's called Kalon Ka Kal, Mahakal. So what time is, he lords over time. The same thing with Shakti, she is called Sadayavana, Nitya Yuvati, Nitya Yavane. Mata Parvati is known as Nitya Yavane. When we say Nitya Yavane, that means she did have her birth. But as Mata Parvati, she is always in that same state. She doesn't grow old. So what it basically means is they are beyond the application of time. They rule over time. Time doesn't rule over them. In the same way, now the name for Ganapati is Sada Bala Rupaya, one of the most important names. Why it is Sada Bala Rupaya? Now, Ganapati was born of the Kaya, the Uptan of Mata Parvati that had appeared on her. And she breathed her life, her strength into Ganesha. He was born as a young boy. He wasn't born as an infant. His existence begins with that of a young boy, Bala. And in that Bala, that is around 8 years of age or whatever, that Balya Rupa, the child, he is beheaded by Shiva, and Shiva again establishes the head of an elephant, baby elephant, on that Parvati Putra, and he once again revives life into him. So now Mata Parvati is the actual mother of Lord Ganesha, and this form of Ganesha that we know as Gajanana is where Shiva has breathed his given him the gift of life. And with what happens with Ganapati is he is called Sada Bala Rupaya, except for a very, very few limited forms, is always in the child form. And this child form, what it indicates is he doesn't grow. Like if there is a child, the child will become a man, will become youth, and then a man, and then will go into the middle ages and old ages. Here Ganapati never grows beyond his childhood. All his strengths, all his abilities, all his wit, his wisdom, his knowledge, uh, all his strength is within him in the form, even in spite of him being in the form of a child. His maturity is also within the form of that child. So here he is beyond time. What this indicates is he is beyond time. So that is his Ishwaratva. It is one of the Parabrahma Swarupams. So Ganesh is also considered to be Parabrahma Parameshwara. The Parabrahma, one of the Swarupams, one of the forms of the Parabrahma Ishwara. So we'll chant Om Sada Balarupaya Namaha. 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 Ratnam.
Om Sada Balarupaya Namaha. 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 Om Sada Balarupaya Namaha.
Thank you, Ratnam. Now, one of the aspects of Ganesha when we see Sadabala Rupa is you will see most of the idols of Ganesha or the images of Ganesha, they always show him with some food in his hand. So usually adults don't carry food in their hand, keep eating and going around the town. But Ganesha is always doing that. So that shows with all his strength, with all his maturity, because it is in the same Bala Ganesha. You see one of his danta, one of his tusk, the outer teeth that is broken. That is, it is half. So what it indicates is that is the time when Parshurama threw his axe on Ganesha when he stopped him from entering the bedroom of Shiva Parvati. He was an axe were hurled at Ganesha. Now, him being one of the Vishnu Swarupams, Vishnu avatarams, Ansha avatarams, what happens is he takes the hit, he takes the blow on his trunk, which hits his on his tusk, which breaks his tusk, which he uses as a pen later on to pen, to author, to write down all the Puranas, the Mahabharata, the Gita that Vedavyasa dictates to him. So it shows that mature Ganesha, who's still in the form of a child. Now, the next name that we are going to chant is Mahabalaya Namaha, which indicates that he is mighty, he is strong. Now, he is very, very stout. When I say stout, no doubt he is stout, and he is powerful. He has physical prowess. Om Mahabalaye Mahabaliye Namaha. Om 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 Mahabaliye Namaha. Floyd. Om Mahabaliye Namaha.
Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha. Om Mahabaliye Namaha.
Thank you, Floyd. Now, there are two devatas to whom, when we offer puja, kumkuma or sindur, kumkumam is offered. First one is the Pratama Puja, Ganesha, where sindur is offered to both his shoulders. Sindur is offered to both his shoulders, and kumkumam is offered to both his shoulders. One is Ganesha, and the last one that we are going to conclude any puja or aradhana is with the puja of Hanumanji. Now, sindur is offered to the padam, to the feet of Hanumanji. There are two devatas to whom, other than the tilak, other than the bottu on the Agna area between the eyes, the only two gods where we offer them sindur is Ganesha and Hanumanji. Ganesha on the shoulders and Hanuman on the feet. Now, there is, if you read the Ganesh Puran, you will know that there was a Asura by the name of, his name was Sindurasura. He was red in color and he was blood red. And so it was like he has applied kumkumam or sindura. So that was Sindurasura. And Ganesha at that time, in the same young boy's form, Balya Rupam, he went to fight the Sindhurasura. So Sindhurasura says to Ganesha, "Hey kid, it is still time for you to go and play in your mother's lap, not to come into the battlefield. Get lost from here." That is what Sindhurasura says to Ganesha. Then what happens is Ganesha emits a loud, I don't know what's it called, the elephant that makes the sound, and it is so loud and it's so effective that it destroys the army of Sindhurasura, all the asuras of Rakshasas of the Rakshasa army of Sindhurasura. Then Sindhurasura understands that this is not a normal child that he thought the child is now with a human body and an elephant head. This is someone that's different. Maybe it's a devata. So he takes on a mighty form. He takes on a mighty form, and when he takes on this mighty form, there is a siddhi called as garima. Garima means getting huge stature, huge physical form. Now here what happens is when this guy becomes huge, like a hill, Ganesha grows himself into the size like a mountain. And it is said that you should read the Puran to understand this story. Ganesha picks him up and he crushes him in his palms, makes him like a ball of rice or food, or he crushes him, pulverizes him into a ball, and he applies that blood on his body. Now, if you have ever gone to Kamakhya, just outside the exit gate, when you go inside and when you come out after the darshan, on the left side, you will see there is a Ganapati who's red in color, where the sindoor is applied on him. And coins are placed. Now, people stick coins to that Ganesha. I don't know for what reason. But that is one of the forms of Ganesha where he is in that Garima form, in that huge, mighty form, and is blood red because the blood of Sindhurasura is applied. He has applied it on his body. He has applied the flesh. Now he's totally mashed him up and applied it on his body. That is Ganesha. That is the strength of Ganesha. Now that is one of the aspects of Ganesha. So we did Mahabali. Now we'll do Om Rakta Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Rakta Ganapataye 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 Namaha. Om Aruna Vinayakane Namaha. Om Aruna Vinayakane Namaha. Om Aruna Vinayakane Namaha. Om Sindhura Ganapataye Namaha. Om Sindhura Ganapataye Namaha. Om Sindhura Ganapataye Namaha. Om Sindhura Ganapataye Namaha. Now, different bhaktas have called him with different names. These are one of the three names which indicates Ganesha that is red in color, bright red in color, like blood upon him. So now we have Jyoti and we have Samhita. Who will chant first? Jyoti?
Om Namo
Okay.
Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana. Whichever form, Jyoti, you're comfortable with. Rakta Ganapati, Aruna Vinayaka. Aruna means red in color, like we say Aruna Achala, the red mountain which never moves. Na? Aruna Vinayaka or Sindhura Ganapati, your choice. So chant one name.
Om Rakta Ganapataye Namaha. Om Rakta Ganapataye Namaha. Om Rakta Ganapataye Namaha. ॐ रक्तगणपतये नमः। 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 ॐ नमो नारायण।
Om Namo Narayana Jyoti. Thank you. Now, during the time of Shravan, we have done a lot of chanting of the names of Ganeshas, where we have seen Nritya Ganapati who dances. Like yesterday, we spoke about when Chandradeva sought forgiveness from Ganapati for laughing at him, for laughing at his pot belly, what you call na Lambodara. One of the names of Ganesha is Bhojana Priyaya Lambodharaya. You are not going to see Ganesha in the form of a what you call without a pot belly. It is one of his actual characteristics that he is known as his Lambodhara. In that same way, we also seen Hasya Ganapati. We have seen various forms of Ganapati that are so loving, that are so innocent, that are so that you just like to embrace. But there is the other side of Ganapati, which is his protection, his strength, his siddhis, all the siddhis that he has attained, that he has been bestowed with, and he lacks nothing, either in the sweetness, or if there comes a time to defend you, if you are his bhakta, nothing is ever going to stop him. There is one shloka which says, Vignadi Hantri, Sada Bala Rupapi Vignada Hantri. Means he is Sada Bala Rupi, always a child. Api, Sada Bala Rupa, Api. Api means but. Though he is in the form of a child, though he is always a child, Api, Vignadi Hantri. Vigna means obstacles. Adri means mountains, hills and mountains. So Hantri, he diminishes, he destroys, he hurls them away. So just imagine this Ganapati, who is in the Balarupa, in spite of being in the Balarupa, Api, Vignadi Hantri. So that means he destroys mountains, the hills, and mountains of obstacles that come into your life, like they are flimsy little toys. He just destroys them. He just hurls them away. So that is Ganapati. In the same way, when you hear about his achievements, about his acts of valor, strength, display of strength in his fight with Tarakasura. Tarakasura had a huge army of asuras. It is said that he came there and he trampled one asura, just nullified him. And there were other asuras. He took them in his trunk and he pulverized them. He threw them into the rocks. There was some other asura. He took his mace, gada, and he just crushed their heads. So that is Lord Ganesha for you. So as nice, loving, all that he is capable. You're under absolute shield of protection of the name of Lord Ganesha. That alone is sufficient to let you through all obstacles. And just imagine what is obstacle, right? When you are about to achieve something, attain something, go somewhere, something happens that is an obstacle, and you are unable to overcome the obstacle. So it is mountainous. No matter how minute it might be at that time, it is like a mountain in front of you that you can't do anything about. But Lord Ganesha, Sada Bala Rupa, Api Vigna Adi Hantri. Vigna Adri means mountain. The mountainous form of Vigna, obstacles, it just hurls them away. So now we will chant Om Vignadi Hantriye Namaha. Vignadi Hantriye Namaha. Another very, very easy name for this is Vignaharataya Namaha. We'll go to Vignaharata because that's easier to chant. Om Vignaharataya Namaha. 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 Samida, Vignaharataya Namaha.
Yes. Om Namo Narayana.
Om Namo Narayana.
Om Vignahartaya Namaha. 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 ॐ विघ्नहर्ताय नमः। ॐ नमो नारायण.
Om Namo
Sorry,
Narayana
today
Samhita.
many
Thank you.
disturbances are there because Visarjan is going on.
No problem, Baba.
Yeah.
Okay, now before we chant the name of Arunachala Shiva, I will try to recall and chant that whole shlokam that Sri Shankaracharya had written. It was the first shloka of the whole. It's called Subramanya Bhujangam. I think it's called Subramanya Bhujangam. I might have forgotten. I might have mixed it up. Please don't mind it. The shloka goes as Sada Bala Rupapi Vignadihantri Mahadanti Vaktrapi Panchasya Manya Vidindradi Mrigya Ganesha Bhidami Vidattam Shriyam Kapi Kalyana Murti. Starts with Sada Bala Rupapi, ends with Kalyana Murti. Means just the sight of Ganesha, the Gajamukha, Lakshmi ka vas hai, na, the forehead. This area of the elephant is one of the Nivasa Sthanams, one of the 5 Nivasa Sthanams of Mahalakshmi. So just looking at the face of Ganesha is a cause, is a reason for goodness to happen in your life. So if you're able to imagine, it happens. If you see a photograph of Ganesha, I'm sure it happens. If you see an idol of Ganesha whom you have that affinity in the form of divinity, where you pray or something, just imagine how much more stronger it is. Sada Bala Rupapi Vignadihantri, I told you about it. He's called Mahadanti Vaktrapi Panchasyamana. One of these days, we will, whenever we meet next, if we meet on a Tuesday or on a day of Ganesha, and if I remember this thing, I'll just describe what this shloka means. Every word in this shloka has so much of meaning, has so much of depth in it that it'll blow our minds. Now, Sadabala Rupapi, I just said, it indicates how Ganesha has, being the child, has shown us that is beyond the rule of time, is beyond time. Time is a subject to him. He is not subject to time. There is Sadabala Rupi and Rupapi. And Kalyana Murti means Sumukha. We have chanted this name very often. Om Sumukhaya Namaha. Just looking at his face, good things happen. So may Lord Ganesha bless us all with his kindness, with his grace, with his childishness. Because what happens is, when Chandra asked him for forgiveness, normally what happens is, when you ask forgiveness of somebody, when you have that guilt, and when you don't know that you have run or done something wrong, you seek forgiveness. When you're forgiven, you celebrate, you feel happy, you enjoy, you sing and you dance, you celebrate that forgiveness that you have received. But here Ganesha is so glad that Chandrama has received his forgiveness. He dances to it. Now he relishes the reduction of the curse to Chandrama. So we should learn from Ganesha, and we should seek his grace and blessings always. Om Namo Narayana. Floyd, will you please chant Om Arunachaleshwaraya Namaha? Then we'll close.
ॐ अरुणाचलेश्वराय नमः। 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 ॐ अरुणाचलेश्वराय नमः।
Thank you, Floyd. I have just invited my Guruji. I have come to meet my Guruji here, from whom I have taken the sannyas Diksha. He will come in a minute. Till then, I'll just chant the name of Arunachala. I'll just introduce him to you people. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. 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 Aruna Achaleshwara, Aruna Achaleshwara, Aruna Achaleshwara, Shambhu Shankara, Hara 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 Mahadeva. Om Namo Narayana. Thank you, Floyd. Thank you, Samida, Jyoti, Ratnam. I'm definitely missing Alex and Jagan today.
Thank you
And
so much.
many
Om Namo
people would
Narayana.
have 5 days of Ganesha, 3 days of Ganesha, 5 days of Ganesha. So probably it will be difficult for them to come. भैया बैठिए. समिधा, श्लोका भी है तुम्हारे साथ?
हाँ, yes, Shloka is there with me.
Shloka, Samida, this is my Guruji.
Oh, wow.
1 minute, let me just. अरे इसमें रिवर्स होता है कैमरा? अच्छा 1 मिनट. Okay. I don't know if you can see him. भैया थोड़ा आगे आइए. बहुत दूर है.
You made him sit in the other state of India.
आ जाइए, आगे आ जाइए भैया. बिल्कुल कम दिख रहे हैं, छोटा दिख रहे हैं. ये लाइट चालू कर देना ऊपर वाले, तब अच्छा दिखेगा. This is my Guruji, Shri Bharadwaj Giriji. I call him Bhaiya because of my own personal reasons. And I can't help it. But that's not the right way to address somebody. Guruji is always Guruji, but my bloody mind nights. So that's a problem. He's the one who's given me my sannyas diksha. So effectively, he's the one who's made me a sannyasi now. If I'm a sadhu, if I'm a sannyasi, it is only and only because of him. And of course, our association with her, now my Dada Guruji, and then whom I considered my Guruji's friend, that time Sacharya's friend, Nepali Bapu. And he lives in the city of Mahua. It's a town, Mahua, in Bhavnagar district in Gujarat. He's much younger to me in chronologically in age. So, Samida, this is your Dada Guru. And Shloka, offer your Namo Narayana, your pranamams to him.
Om Namo Narayana.
Floyd, भैया ये जो पूरा ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं, ये मेरा दोस्त है, बहुत पुराने दोस्त है, 12-15 साल का, फ्लॉयड बोल के, है ना, ही इज फ्रॉम गोवा, वो है। ज्योति इज पहले मेरे पहचान के थे, इवन नाउ पहचान के, आई डोंट नो हाउ एल्स टू एड्रेस दिस ज्योति, बट
ओम
ही इज अ
नमो
वेरी
नारायण
डिवोटेड
गुरुजी।
पर्सन। नमो नारायण, नमो नारायण। ओके, एंड रत्नम, आई हैव नेवर, कभी मैं रत्नम से मिला नहीं हूँ, but he's a very close acquaintance. We are not friends yet. We have never met. I hope we'll develop that friendship whenever we meet. And Ratnam, this is my Guruji.
नमो नारायण गुरुजी।
नमो नारायण जी, नमो नारायण। एंड रत्नम बहुत हेल्प करता है, हमको आता नहीं ना वो वीडियो टीडियो, वो पूरा वही हेल्प करता है बनाने में, छोटे छोटे क्लिप्स। या अभी ये जो पूरा रिकॉर्ड किया, उसके वजह से हम इंस्टाग्राम में डालते हैं। बाबा, थैंक यू एवरीबडी फॉर ज्वाइनिंग, एंड whenever we join next, we will do it. And Floyd, do you find we can stop the recording, Floyd, now?
Yeah.
Please, and then I can talk easily.